Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. I'm gonna be talking about control flows. So, gonna have some ideas. Just looking through it, it looks like building expressions, else statements, if statements, else ifs, just basic programming knowledge. All these are created. So for each loops, for loops. So very simple, just understanding. If you've done any other programming, I've done some JavaScript, Python, a little bit of C#. So it's just going to go over the basics of it all. Very simple to understand. A lot of programming will go if, else, then there's a difference in where and for loops. So one iterates, one just keeps on going until it meets a Boolean statement. So and then there's some more that's a little bit harder to understand, like for each, but overall pretty simple. Yeah, so we'll go through all of this really quick. So, and then yeah, we'll be on to chapter 5 right next week. So we'll start off. So right off the gate, understand control flows. It has servers, and so then it says building expressions by using operators. So it says 1 is equal to 1. And then that's going to report back true. So this is EQ, which is equal to. There is also, we can do this. I'm going to go through every single one that they're showing. It's going to be 1 is, and it says compare two values and returns true if it is not equal to. So you have equal to, not equal to. You have greater than, so it'll be is greater than 1. So that's true. And then we're going to do 1 is greater than, or is this equal to? Is greater than or equal to. Yep. So then it's going to report back true because 1 is greater than or equal to 1, which the same statement would hold true if you had 2. So exactly the same, but it would not be if you had a 0. So it's the exact same as if we did this, but I don't know if this is going to report back anything. No, that's not how it works. But then you also have 1 is less than 3, and then you also have less than or equal to, and that'll also be true. And then you can do contains. So you can do like, I wonder if this is tech contains H, second, nope. So 1 contains 1, so that equals true. And then there you get, if they go like this, that equals false. So it's not just the number. It says returns true if the second value is in the first. You can use this to determine whether a value is inside of an array. Oh, it'd be part of an array. Gotcha. All right. So then we're going to go here. So it says if statements. So very simple if statement says if condition, and then inside of that condition, boom, like that. Code to run if the condition evaluates to be true. So that's what that first initial portion said. So inside of Obsidian, go like that, boom. So we have a little code block, but then we have an else statement. So actually it's as simple as going like this and then putting another one, and then all it has, it actually has it written out. So it has test connection, and then we got computer name, and then servers, array 0, quiet, count 1. So that's inside there, and then inside of this we have get content, no, tag path, double quotes, because that does make a difference, and then is it $sign again, so server, there we go, like that, and then outside of it, \c, dollar, configuration.txt. So it gets content path of the server that was specified up here, and then it's going to put it c:\app configuration.txt. So it's going to look whatever that server name. So if it was DC1, it's going to look in the C directory and then create app directory. It's going to get contents of that file. So test connection to it, and then when testing, it's going to create that. Otherwise, it's going to write the error because it can't find it. Boom. Message the server. Server's boom is not responding. Just like that. Oh, I guess it wants exclamation. Boom. So, like that. It looks like it all runs. Cannot index into a null array. So it would definitely help if I were to create what it said before, which is $servers equals at two, it just wants 3. I'll just end at 3. It goes to 5, but I'll go like that. Boom. And then if I do the code again, so now that that array is defined, now that we do that, it should result. Server 1 is not responding. Yes, it'll do the error because that's not actually a real thing. So we got that. Boom, 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 boom. So an else if statement would be, we'll go like this, copy this, put this above, and then the only thing different is going to go like this. If, delete all of that, and then the else if is going to be, because what you're able to do with an else if is have another parameter. Inside the parameter section, we're going to do servers 0 equal to problem server. And then inside there, we're going to write another error. Tab. And they actually have, so they have that one. So actually what that's going to be. So they actually did it correctly because they rewrote it as I'm seeing. Because you do want, one thing about code is when you do write it, you do want what your expected output that you want to have, you want that to be last. And the reason for that is you can sometimes get it that it skips steps and then it'll accidentally get your value that you want. So your value that you want the most should actually be the last one because you want to go through expected problems before that. So that's kind of why they have it the way that it is. So write server. Now it switches it up and it says the write server error message, tech message. The server 0 does not have the right file, so it changes. And then the first one is if, and then in parentheses it says tech not. It says test connection, computer name, server 0, quiet, tech count 1, and then inside that the right error, the message, the servers is not responding. So all this is showing is the difference between if, which is the first one. If you want to do another if inside of this, you can do an else if, and then the final one is an else, and that is the one that you will be expected to have at the very end. So it says next is the switch statement. So in the switch statement, let's tweak the example a bit. Say you have 5 servers, and each server has a file in a different path. Based on what you know, you need to write a separate else if statement for each individual server. Yes, that's 100% true. And this would work, but there's a cleaner method. Notice that now, working with different kinds of conditions, whereas before you wanted the answer to yes and no question, here we want to know the specific values of one thing. Is the server SRV1? Is it SRV2? And so parentheses inside the switch block are a series of statements that have a value followed by a set of curly brackets containing a code block and eventually a default block. All right. So this top one, it's if, else, if, else. All right. And then we'll go down here and then we'll do this and then we'll do switch. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Go inside here. So we're going to do switch, expression, and then curly brackets. Inside the expression, we're going to do, inside the curly brackets, we're going to do expression value. This is going to be right here. Have right here, tab, do something with code. Nice, nice. All right, and then after that, we're going to do another expression value. I'm seeing that I put a J up here. Nice. All right. And then right here, boom. And then there's going to be a default. Default. Stuff if nothing would, if no matches. If no matches. So, all right. So then switch statements contain an almost unlimited number of values. If the expression evaluate is the value, the code inside is executed critically. Unlike else if, after one block runs, PowerShell will continue to evaluate the other conditions otherwise specified. If none of the values match. So else if, and else all hit on one value, while switch will keep on going and seeing how many it can hit. So that is one reason why you would want to use the differences. There's also a break functionality that you can add at the end. It's showing at the end of an expression value. So you'd put it inside of the curly brackets inside here. So you'd have something that you would have. And if it hits this and you get it, then it'll break. This break will send it back up, be done with this, and keep on going with the overall code. So it would be done with the switch. So the reason you'd want to add a switch would be for that reason. So then we have using loops. The loops that it has inside here is for each, for loop, and I think the last one is while, and do while, or do until loops. So you have these three loops. So we'll go right here. We'll do for each, for, while, and do while. All right. Okay. So for each, we're going to do for each. We're going to put in here server in servers. So then this would obviously be specified for whatever, but this is the individual character among the array. So you're going to tab, and then you need to get content, and then path, and then double quotes, backpack, and then the value specified, so the server, not servers, C $ app configuration.txt. Alright, so that is the for each. So then we have that. So then actually if we go servers app, where is that? Boom. Let's go like this. Boom. Just like that. So, and then what we also could do would be this. This is the example that they have inside the book. Like that. And then it says server equals new server. And then after the for each is servers. So we can do this code like that, run that, and then it's going to generate this code at the top. It's going to print this to the array, run this, show that, and then run all of them. So just like that. So then next, so we're done with all of this. Now we're going to go to for loops. So what they have here is for I equals 0, $I is less than 10, and then $I plus plus. So these sometimes are a little difficult to understand, but usually as you go you can understand them. Boom, boom. This should generate. Yep. So how this works, very simple breakdown of how all this will go, is you start at 0. So I is the value. This value can be X. We could completely switch it to X. We could switch this to anything that you want. So just think of that you need all four of these, and able just to be here. It's a very simple math equation. It's saying, hey, we're starting at 0. X is going to be equal to 0. And then it's saying, as long as X is less than 10, I want it to increase by 1. So it'll go the first time around, the for loop. It's going to go, you're 0, because all it's going to do is present the number that it has. Then, after it does this, after it shows that and goes through, it's going to go, hey, add 1. All right, it's going to start this all over again. So it's going to add 1 to the top right here, and then it's going to go through this whole thing again. So then it'd be 1. So this value is now 1. And it says, is 1 less than 10? And it goes, yes. Yes, it is. At that point, it's going to add another 1. And it's going to keep on iterating all the way through. Very simple. For loops at the very beginning can be a little hard to understand. Same with while. A lot of iterations can be a little difficult at first, but they're awesome, and they can be used a lot in a lot of your code. So I would say here's another one. It's while loops. So while loop is almost exactly the same. The only difference is you specify what the number is for loops. For while loops, you're going, so like for this, we're going to do, instead of how much you're iterating by at the top, so you see how everything is at the top right here, the difference is, I'll go like this. So counter equals 0, so we're specifying it here, and then you're going to go while counter is less than 10. And then inside of here, we're going to go counter plus plus. So it's a different way to write it. So this is all essentially the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Boom, just like that. Boom. And then you get the exact same output. The exact same output. It's a little bit different of how it does it. There's different advantages to each. You just have to know when to use it, and I think that's just a lot more programming over time. You'll understand where the benefits are. So it says, by using a while loop instead of an if, you can repeatedly check to see whether the service is up. Then once you get to the contents you need, you can break the loop to make sure that you don't continue to break the server. The break keyword can be used in a loop to stop the loop from running. This is especially important when using one of the most common while loops, the while $true loop. By using the true as your condition, while loop will run forever unless you stop it in a break or keyboard input. So that's kind of the difference between while and for, is while can just keep on going. For, it'll hit to the value and be done. So that is one area where you can look at. And then we got the do while. So do, and then while, and then we're going to go literally what we just specified, true. So what they have right here is choice equals read host prompt what is the best programming language? I love these. And then it has until choice EQ PowerShell. And then write host boom, just like that. Correct. So until will wait until it receives a value, and then it wants you to write that object as correct. So yeah, that choice value is what is designated as the next one. So, or wait. So it says do, and then it wants you to doing this until the choice is equal to PowerShell. So that's cool. So it'll just keep on iterating through. So this is a while loop, and it'll keep on asking. So if we're to do that again, it'll just keep on asking until you eventually get it right. So I could literally do PS1 wrong, but if I type in PowerShell correctly, and then it'll be done. That's really cool. I like that. So I just learned something actually right now. So I like that. So that was actually the end of chapter 4. So I'll do another one later on. But you learned a thing or two. Just let me know down below what you learned, and any more things that I can go over. I can create other videos definitely. Hope this helped you out a little bit. I'm learning a lot as I'm going. I definitely want to get better at PowerShell, so it's something that I find interested in. I have a lot of fun with this. So if you could leave me a like and subscribe, definitely want to create a bunch more videos. If you have any ideas, definitely can work on that. So thanks for watching.